Jonathan also. So, he's no longer.
But also not any former leader.
All right. What to review 6-month-old strike. And then there's who cannot be banned by the federal government for not calling off the NEC after most of their branches.
I think that's happening today, yeah.
Yes, because most of their branches voted for saying we are not going, say, what exactly, way forward for our Nigerian students.
Well, if maybe what we will still see, I don't think the NEC will do anything different from what there are ways out of this particular problem. There's a way to resolve this ASU. It's about the people. It is not about individuals or ego tripping and all of that. They should look. If you remember when we reviewed, I think sometime last week was the issue of the 6 months where if unions go on strike, country. But we need to ask ourselves, what is the living condition of the lecturers? What are the grants available to those lecturers? What are the facilities available to them? The research grants and all of those things.
Is wondering, and I think I might also join in that,
wonder
for subsidy payment, and then $235 million for foreign airlines cannot meet us,
which is very, very unfortunate. Yeah,
which education seems not to be a part of. That's unfortunate. But more details on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Sorry.
Thank you.
Moving on now. Lagos airport cleaner in NDLEA's net for leading drug syndicates. That's on page 6 of the Nation newspaper.
Yeah, I saw the story yesterday. The guy is just you know some of this. When you talk about organized crime, it's not just it's a ring, it's a circle, and you'd
be surprised what it leads to.
Exactly where it leads to. That's what I was trying to say. You could just discover that even a cab driver, a cleaner, a security personnel is part of the entire
person
ring.
Begging for arms.
Could even be part of the courier that moves the thing around. So. It's not surprising, but I think the NDLEA is doing a lot of wonderful job that we should commend. Yeah.
All right. More details on page 6 of the Nation newspaper. We also have how Nigeria can benefit from stable oil markets. Okay. Well, that's coming from
for petroleum.
Yes, Timmy Praise Silva. Any decision that will promote stability in the global oil market will enjoy Nigeria's support. How valuable is that support?
I don't
how amazing is that support that
and I don't know why he's even advocating
that the global world should be looking forward to.
I don't know why he's advocating for stability. Yes, that might sound a bit selfish, but whatever the challenge is in Europe at this time between Russia and Ukraine, there are countries who are benefiting immensely from it, and if the oil price continues to go up, we should be looking at ways for the prices to go up. And in our own situation, we are not even stable.
I want to provide stability.
So I don't understand where it's coming from. I think we want to fix our refineries. We should work more to ensure that our subsidy arrangement is clean and free from fraudulent practices. So those are the things we should focus on, not thinking of helping to stabilize oil prices around the world.
I think I need to just quickly read something
what
else.
Saying,
but yes, permit me. As such, any measure required to ensure the stability of the oil market whenever it is necessary will always be comprehensively supported by Nigeria. According to him, the prevailing volatility observed in the oil market calls for caution, assuring that Nigeria will work with other stakeholders in ensuring a right and necessary path to stability. More interestingly, let me read this. Oil prices trended upward at the weekend as more countries continue to support Saudi Arabia's call for stable oil market. Saudi Arabia
is making money
that made $88
billion
in
6 months. Yeah,
$88 billion is still calling for support, and Nigeria wants to support.
I know what's going to happen is that
the irony for me.
For the OPEC members, when they talk about stability, they'll be looking at the issue of quota. Okay, let's so that we don't oversupply the market and then drop prices. So when they talk about stability within the OPEC sphere, that's what they're talking about. Issue of quota. But unfortunately for us in Nigeria, even the quota that they are giving to us, we are not even meeting that quota. So where are we in the space of stability? We should look at our own issues, please, and find a way to resolve them.
All right. Okay, thank you very much. Well, more details.
We can't help instability. We have our own issues, really.
Let's be stable first.
Because even the quota they are giving to us in this unstable market, we can't even meet that quota.
Let's remove the speck in our eye before going to remove the log in another person's eye. Continue. More details continues on page 8 of the Nation. Moving on, kidnapped police officers freed.
Mm.
Hallelujah.
That's
That's on page 6 of The Nation. Gunmen kill hotelier, 3 others. That's also on page 6 of The Nation newspaper. I think hotels should really
do a lot with security these
yes,
days. Yeah.
The CCTV cameras and whatnot, and not just
And even check
installing
people
them.
going
People
in.
should
Yeah.
be seated. I don't know why people just install CCTV
And nobody's monitoring it.
and move on. No, that's not the purpose. Okay, so the
So when
purpose
something-
is, well, above the masthead of The Nation, we have federal government to block illegal wants to go and block those diversions.
They should just complete the road, I beg. Yeah. If they,
Everything just because you want to fix something.
I
That's
don't
my
even
own
understand.
question.
And the way the Badger cannot work at night. That in a very detailing a patrol of police would not be enough security for the workers.
They can't work at night when during the day people are being robbed in the traffic, people are being kidnapped in the traffic. So I'm
That portion of road they were fixing on Friday, the Kara end or something, I did not get there. It was just a report, and I was asking myself, this can be done midnight when vehicular movement and then block but at least complete the road.
Ibadan Expressway. More details on page 27 of The Nation. Wike gets Rivers PDP backing on call for IU's removal. Okay, so he has the backing of the state's party, chair, or the state party committee or workings for the removal of IU.
One interesting thing that I picked from Political Roundtable yesterday was a statement by Barrister Curtis, who was asking that, of course, Wike came back to, just as we are hearing from former President Lucia Gomafilo of the national agenda. Wike came back and said all the meetings we had, the entire movement of the of governors to London, candidates and all of that was for the good of the country. That everything that was discussed was for the good of the country. Now ask me, how is the removal of IU for the good of the country? If that's part of the demand.
They didn't discuss that at the UK meeting.
No, he's bringing it back home now. I'm sure it must be one of the things
he's
he
back
must have.
now, so he's
I'm
in
sure
the
it's
country now.
I'm sure it's
so
one
this
of
is a national problem. That one they went to discuss because Nigeria, is an international, so it's a federation, so they had to discuss it outside.
Sandra, I will say it again. Nigerians should set the agenda for themselves in 2023. If you are waiting for any of those leaders, whether past, present, or aspiring, to set agenda for you, you are just wasting time. These are actually part of the problem. They created the problem. They are enmeshed in the problem. They are willing to continue to sit within the problem and continue with the problem. Nigerians should please take the country back and set the agenda for the country in 2023.
All right. More details on page 4. Wike gets Rivers PDP backing on call for IU's removal. Iyocha IU,
the same
national
IU,
chairman of the People's
the
Democratic
same IU
Party.
that Wike installed. There was a time Wike fought tooth and nail to remove Secondus, the former chairman of the party, and he was pivotal to how IU emerged. He's removing IU again. We're talking about the plague of being a chairman of a party in Nigeria. You may never finish your term. There has not been any of the party chairman that has finished their term, especially in the PDP.
Well,
the same thing happened in the APC too.
So be it. As it should.
so be it.
Lagos NURTW leader killed in cult clash.
Yeah.
Still having cult issues.
Yes, I got the report yesterday. The name, they have all these funny names.
The Yoruba people would say that if the death outside does not kill you, the death inside will catch up with you.
Because there was a lot of pandemonium around mile 12, K2. Owode Lady, that entire axis yesterday, when the death of this person was announced. They said it's a union leader, but there was a court clash that claimed his life. So I'm suspecting.
So what concern union leader with cult?
Maybe he's a member of a cult group too.
Because
for him to have been killed, in a cult clash. But there was a lot of security issues around that entire area. I think yesterday afternoon.
What is happening in Ikorodu?
That anything from K2 down.
The
government
is a hotbed
for cultism, for gangsterism, and all manner of crimes. So the government needs to do a lot of work on that axis. So it's not cultism is crazy.
All right,
that axis.
More details on page 6 of the Nation newspaper.
That's
interesting. I'm not going to say anything about that. Ondo State is telling teachers, don't enroll your kids in private schools. Right. On Midland 98.3 FM. Don't forget that we're live on Facebook and YouTube at Midland 98.3 agenda soon.
their own agenda, not my own agenda. I'm not going to be part of that agenda, and I will not take that agenda from them.
Why are you angry?
I'm just angry.
Yeah.
These leaders can never set agenda for me.
Why are you angry?
And I think they should not set agenda for Nigeria.
Please calm down.
Never.
Please calm down.
I'm just sorry.
It's okay.
I know what I'm saying. That.
Thank you.
If we have to extract each of these leaders from Babangida to Abdul Salam
it's okay.
to set agenda for the country.
Well, the riders to that headline, Obasanjo, I have national agenda, not special candidate. Atiku to receive Shekarau, other defectors into PDP in Kano today. George insists PDP must correct lopsidedness against South before election. NEF scribe berates political class for meeting abroad over nation's woes. NNPP will shock Nigerians, says Kwakwanso. I think we will be shocked.
No, the elections will be very interesting.
No, the elections, we already know that,
it's going to be very interesting. The NNPP is actually causing a lot of destruction in the north.
There's a lot of anxiety.
You also have the Labour Party with its own strength.
Yes.
So you have the APC, PDP. I
find it interesting that you say that NNPP is causing destruction, and then when you got to Labour Party, it says strength.
No, when I say destruction, they have their own strength. I'm trying to... Disruption, not destruct. Disruption.
Okay. Apologies. Then I got that wrong. All right. So this is apparently a major headline across all the papers. The fact that Obasanjo, former president of this country under the People's Democratic Party for 8 years, two terms. Don't forget that he was pushing. Don't forget that he was pushing a third term. Okay. So Obasanjo is going around doing his own consultations, and we are wondering, what is he who is he consulting for? What is he consulting for?
Well, if you look at people he's meeting, you wonder.
So it's a parapet of old leaders.
And they want to set agenda for us in 2023.
The same people that...
No, never. It's not going to happen for me.
It's all right. Well, more details on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. I think we should come back to this much later on. Because we need to ask, what exactly do you think the agenda might be? As it
or who should set agenda for us?
Or who should set agenda? Should it be these old people? Maybe there's something they've been there, they've seen everything, so there's probably something that they should rest. They've seen, and they're like,
they should just rest.
We need to help.
No, they should rest. They should just go and rest. Take a back seat. A chill pill, like you always say.
It's okay. Yeah. All right. As it is now, he said he has promised to unveil his agenda for the 2023 elections soon. He didn't give details of the agenda, but insisted that it will be made public.
Okay.
That's one thing I like about him. He always makes everything public.
He writes letters. He will write it. He will probably do a letter.
So more details on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Nigerians top list of study visas to US and UK. That's the Japa bug.
The Japa bug, it's unfortunate.
That's also on page 6.
Our best minds, our best brains are living. Yeah.
We discussed this last week, the fact that a lot of banks have IT issues now because their IT guys.
Even the medical sector, a lot of people are running out of
doctors,
the country.
It's like one doctor to 100 people now. If you go to the hospital, it's interesting. But more details on page 6 of the Guardian paper. But we're still here and we're hoping. We still have hope, isn't it?
We can't all leave.
No. Something good will come out
definitely.
of this.
It's our country. We're proud of it. We continue to push.
Out of the dark pot, the white agidi.
Something good is going to come.
The white
definitely.
Agidi can
I'm
come
very,
out.
very optimistic about the country.
But you're wearing black. That's okay. More details on page 6 of the Guardian. Motorists come major problem on the neck of Nigerians, Lagos residents and Ogun and work in Lagos. We have people living in Lagos and working in Ogun State. So you have
they're becoming one very fast.
Very fast. Issue is the fact that it is causing serious. Said they slept, woke up
on the road.
On the road. It's unfortunate.
Would you blame Berger? Some people gave them the job.
But the federal government has now apologized.
It's not about apologizing. It's about having a change of course, a change of pattern in the work process.
And they're also working on blocking alternative,
that's
routes or illegal diversions.
That's a minor issue. The issue is why is Berger not working at night? It's heavy or during work hours, early in the morning. Why coming into Lagos, open that portion of road up, then later in the evening during rush hours, open it up again, and then work at night so that you can even have a reduced timeline. It doesn't have to be 6 months to fix that stretch of road. So you ask yourself, why is Berger not working at night? I'm telling you, 4 p.m. they are done. You could go check.
That's unfortunate. All right. More details on page 8 of the Guardian. Moving on now, we have NDDC. Don't set Niger Delta on fire. South elders warn Malami.
on the Tompolo contract.
How did Malami enter NDDC squabbles? I don't know.
Malami is everywhere.
Malami, just for someone who's listening, Abubakar Malami is the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, Toriolo. And, he seems to be involved in everything.
Everything, yeah. Well, the thing is this. I was discussing with a senior colleague on Sunday, and he said, I think we're actually now seeing the lacuna caused by the demise of the former chief of staff, Abba Kyari, who a lot of people had accused at that time had been over-influential within the Buhari government, the way he was able to tie the government up and all of that. But now you have a situation where the Attorney General is everywhere in all issues. There's particularly no issue you mentioned now that you don't find him there. One would have thought that he will be more concerned with administration of justice, reforms in the justice system, and ensuring that our laws are tightened up as a nation. But he's everywhere. He's touching everywhere. He's acting on everything.
Well, as it is now, what we have here is that South Elders Progressive Forum has accused Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, of plotting to mislead President Muhammadu Buhari in the constitution of a substantive board of NDDC.
Okay.
So, South Elders Progressive Forum, whose membership comprises elders from across the clear provisions of Section 12(1) of the NDDC Act 2000
on how the board should be constituted,
as it relates to the appointment of the agency's, managing director. So now, Section 12(1) of the Act stipulates there shall be for the commission a managing director and 2 executive directors who shall be indigents of oil-producing areas, starting with the member states of the commission with the highest production quantum of oil, okay, and shall rotate among member states in the order of production. So let's say, Fuad is a state, Tosin is a state, I'm a state. If you produce the highest, you start first, and then if she's the second highest, come to that.
But that's a clear law to follow. So what's the issue?
Now, the SSEPF, the Elders Forum, expressed concern that while the unambiguous provisions,
I just said it. It's so clear and simple, to understand.
Has been duly adhered to in appointments in previous administrations. Malami, for inexplicable reasons, is attempting to rob Peter to pay Paul by misleading Buhari. I want to get that, what exactly is Malami trying to do. So in a statement, they're saying that while it is indisputably the turn of a nominee from Bayelsa, to occupy,
following the rotational arrangement,
to occupy the managing director, the AGF is allegedly plotting to manipulate the position in favor of Edo State.
Well, I don't know. I just mentioned it. When Malami gets into something, controversy erupts immediately. You have the Paris Fund, the Paris Club refund that is still an issue. He's enmeshed in that.
The money, also the repatriation of the $23 million.
Abacha is also involved in that, which is also a bit of a controversial issue.
Yeah.
You remember that the back and forth on the Electoral Act too.
He was the one.
He was majorly on his advice, the back and forth. The reason why
even after it was signed,
he was still has to go to. He
took the president to court.
He had to to advise the president to go to court and all the back and I think we should have. I don't know. I really don't know. But honestly,
our AGF, sorry.
Our IGF is a very wonderful person. He should take a chill pill and focus.
He should focus. He should focus. Because if there's a formula, there's a rotating formula that works for them in the Niger Delta,
and the constitution is very clear about it.
It is not ambiguous. Rotate according to the production,
and they know the
quantum.
And this quantum is easy, it's clear to understand. And that is also an arrangement that has been done in the past without any issue.
And they know within themselves that it is Bayelsa's turn. So why are you enforcing an Edo indigene? More details on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Moving on, we also have South Middle Belt groups ask federal government to shelve 2023 census. That's on page 3. There have been cries that that's not necessary.
Why do we have to hold
that
census?
What is the point of the census? And the census is happening almost close to election
year.
Yeah.
Not even at this time that we're complaining of funds. You know what it takes to run census? And again, the issue of insecurity in the country. We are going to have a lot of doctored figures. That's what's going to happen. Even when there was no insecurity at this level, the figures were still contested. How much more now that, okay, how do you go to some of these bandit areas now to count people, to enumerate people? So it's a waste of time looking at our immediate challenges. Can we just shift it forward to a better time when we're ready?
All right.
Must we have it now?
More details on page 3 of The Guardian. We also have ASU accuses education minister of aggression. That's on page 20.
They are not fighting people.
They do, but somebody is being aggressive.
Okay,
That's just the most important.
So far, there's no physical violence.
No.
Yeah,
as long as it doesn't get violent or
they
physical. Sorry,
yeah.
as long as it doesn't get physical. So everybody should there's going to be exchange of words.
Maybe words, So
more details on page 28 of The Guardian. And finally, from The Guardian, we have Institute of Directors task for South and Southeast governors on insecurity and economy. And that's on page 27 of The Guardian newspaper. All right, still on trends in the papers. We're live on Facebook. Apologies. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM. So the major headline. So some people are agreeing. Some people are yay, some people are nay.
Also loyal to Wiki.
You've been asking that who is Wiki? Who is Wiki?
I don't know now. I don't know before.
Now you are knowing. NWC not divided.
And again, you must understand, Sandra, when they look at the chairmanship of the party, cycle is gone. The primaries are gone. Atiku already has the ticket. He wins. He doesn't think people should also take note of that.
All right, Atiku, others receive Shekarau back.
And then gone back to Labour
NNPP.
Party and then NPP and then back to PD.
Yes.
There was also the Fresh Party.
It's still interim,
Is he running this time?
No, he's proposing an
Interim is doing well.
Obasanjo touts national agenda. 32 killed, 150.
That country has been in, you have different people holding different governments, You have
Lasaf pollution. People not wearing face masks. All right, the story is on page 9 of the Punch newspaper. Over 30,000 premature deaths in Lagos.
So
and so they are doing an initiation sector as the highest contribution to air pollution. All right, Ikorodu, Akoka, and Abeson to alert for unfriendly air pollution. And aside from the awareness walk and the ECA initiative,
I think the first will be for us to look at public transport reforms in Lagos. Some of the vehicles on our
roadworthiness,
are not roadworthy, and
but they have roadworthiness.
There's something I asked one of my friends. For me to get my roadworthiness papers renewed, I had to take my car to a particular center, and I spent the whole day there. They checked everything. They had to certify this and that. In fact, what I found is that there are people that have visited private car owners.
So if that is being done
for private car owners. So I now ask myself, some of the vehicles, the public transport vehicles we see on the road,
some of them don't even use keys to start.
And I was told that they still go to some particular centers. And I said, how do they pass their own roadworthiness tests? Because even just looking at those vehicles, there's no way they will pass that test.
I don't need to be a roadworthy person
to know that this. So you ask yourself, how do they get their own papers?
All right. Well, that's a valid question. If they're going to actually look into the transportation sector of the state, then they should dig deeper than just awareness.
Yeah.
All right. More details on page 9 of the Punch newspaper. We also have accident kills 3. Commuters decry Lagos Ibadan gridlock. So people are dying, people are being robbed, people are being kidnapped just for a road to be fixed. That's interesting.
You've said enough on that.
More details on pages 4 and 5 of the Punch. Aviation sector's GDP crashes by 61%, as expected.
Yes, of course, expected.
Amid crisis.
Yeah.
That's on page 28. We also have unpaid salaries, Plateau, Benue, Ondo workers, others grown. People are not being paid.
And Otombo was in the UK discussing, politics.
The good of Nigeria.
The good of Nigeria. Otom.
He's on vacation. That's why he has a deputy. But as it is now, workers in Plateau, Benue, Ondo, Abia.
Let's look at the states, eh?
Abia.
Benue, Ondo, Abia. Which other state?
Plateau.
Okay. Yeah, those ones are.
It's okay.
Yes.
And other states are groaning over the failure of the authorities to pay their salaries. Plateau state workers explained that the government is owing them 3 months. That's interesting. That's scary. In Benue, Samuel Autumn's administration is owing 5 months, while local governments have failed to clear 4-month salary arrears.
Yes.
That's another one that. And Abia.
Is it how many months?
Abia workers, even pensioners, are being owed a minimum of 6 months.
It could,
it could be more.
It could be more, yeah.
It could be more.
It's not less than 6 months. That's what they're saying.
It's not less than 6 months. It could be more. That's interesting and unfortunate, actually, that these states are having these issues, and everybody seems to be focused. I know
there's already this alert that
on 2023.
I know there's this alert already that if the subsidy regime continues this way, and we have to continue to pay up to 6 trillion every year on subsidy, the governors, the states may not be able to meet their salary obligations already.
So far,
the country is borrowing to pay salaries as it is.
Which brings to light the issue between the NGF and the AGF, you know, as regards the $418 million payment. That if you take
deduct,
this out,
if we do it now, the states will run into trouble.
Yam pepper everywhere. More details of that, 0.36 trillion naira. That's on page 30. Is the way forward. On votes from different parties
for continuation of the strike.
Okay. One more details on page 8 from indirect taxes. That's on page 20. Hearing that we're broke also, so we don't know which one to go with at this time now. 0.3 FM. And the major headline on Vanguard, the riders to that, Ayu may resist stepping sleepless nights over Wike's demands.
I'm telling you. I'm sure the Ayu thing is just one of
the fact that everyone in Wike's camp or Wike's team gets
something juicy position.
A juicy position, yes, in the.
It won't happen. I think we won't concede to all of that.
Okay, thank you very much.
What did I just say?
All right. Chairman not appointed but elected, says Ally. Why Wike
if he steps down, there will be a need to put somebody there.
Okay.
So that means he has to step down on his own.
Okay. Well, we have placeholders that are refusing to step down.
The thing is that if there's too much pressure, Ayu may concede and decide to do, okay, I'm leaving the position, and then
that's coming from Rivers non-indigens. Why are they having, a say over what Wike should or
there was a rally. There was a rally in Port Harcourt yesterday for Peter Obi. So I guess maybe that's where that report is coming from, and it was quite massive. And that's what I saw
the videos.
Yeah, when I kept saying that, what exactly is the electoral value of Wike? When I saw the rally in Port Harcourt, those are just ordinary people in River State who have committed to the Obi presidency, and they went out. It was quite a massive rally. So how does the governor tell everybody in the state to vote for one particular candidate? And that's why sometimes I try to understand the minds of the politicians when they come up with this posture of, it's larger than life, you can decide what happens in the state. That rally is quite instructive. It shows that, look, people will decide in 2023.
Okay. More details on page 5 of Vanguard newspaper. We also have, very quickly, I have national agenda for the country, not special candidate for 2023, Obasanjo. And that's on page 4. If you're really fighting for students, suspend strike. Parents, NANS, task ASU. That's interesting.
You see that? So there are parents who are worried, and I'm sure if you go into that story, I don't know. When you say parents, what
percentage of parents?
Percentage of parents hold that particular position. For NANS, I think that's a body that
is questionable.
We need to
scrutinize
very
okay.
well. So,
more details on page 8 of Vanguard.
Yeah.
Trouble looms in NICOM over purchase of 4 billion naira uncompleted office building. Lord have mercy. Just after reading ASU's story.
And you buy a building for 4 billion and it's uncompleted.
Why are they buying uncompleted buildings?
To complete it with another 4 billion.
For what? It's okay.
I just answered your question.
I know.
Does it make sense?
More details.
Does it make sense?
Or the purchase, or which one?
You asked me a question. Why are they buying now? I said they bought it to complete it.
Okay. All right. NICOM. I'm sorry. I just need to let somebody
you want to know what's good? Okay.
You
want to worry yourself.
I'm sorry.
More.
I'm
so I don't. It's okay. It's
apologies.
Okay. Have your time.
I need to know what exactly is happening here. That's National Insurance Commission.
Yeah.
And the President Muhammadu Buhari and the Federal Executive Council may have been deceived into approving 4 billion for the purchase of a new office complex in Abuja. And according to them, this was based on a presentation by the NICOM management that they were buying a ready-to-use magnificent office complex, better than where they were currently. And they said the building, which was initially valued at 2.5, was raised to 4 billion. And as it is now, it's an uncompleted building that they bought. I'm sorry, but you can get more details on page 8 of Vanguard newspaper.
They will complete it to taste.
2023. Don't listen to presidential candidates through proxies. Peter Obi tells Nigerians.
That's a valid statement. Let's hear from them.
10 Nigerian states have bigger GDPs than some African countries. Finally, we are hearing from our vice president, Professor Yemi.
Does that reflect on the common man in those states, the ordinary people? What's the living standard? Because again, when you look at
details,
GDP, okay, all
more
right.
details on page 27. We are not respecting zoning. Sorry, that's not what they said. They are not allocating. They are just working, and that be so we can make Nigeria better by blocking wastages. Go straight to Milan focus. I think we already have an idea of what our focus is. To Milan 98.3 FM. Don't forget, when we come back, we'll be live on Facebook and YouTube. My name is Omobola Sandra. Fuhad Sahid is also here with me in the studio, and we'll be right back.